distracted by cars. It's bloody cold today. And then, hi. It's July 1st, and I thought a fun way to start off the month would be with a little June wrap-up of all the things I've read this month. So I've read a total of 15 books this month, which is a pretty good reading month, I think. And I'm just gonna talk you through what I've read. So the first book that I finished this month was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I started this on my birthday, so at the end of May, and I finished it at the start of June. And we all know that it wasn't my favourite book. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I don't know, it just wasn't really it for me. Honestly, if I were to rate it again, I'd probably give it a 2.5. I don't know, it just wasn't really for me. I talked about it more. I posted a reading vlog for my birthday where I kind of talked about all my thoughts and my feelings, of which there were many. So books 2 and 3 that I read this month were both romances. If you don't know, I am an avid romance reader. I live for romance. Any book I read, I would prefer to have a romance in it. It doesn't need to, but generally speaking, I find them more difficult to get into. So the first one I read was The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and then I read Beach Read by Emily Henry. So The Deal is one I've seen around a lot. It's one of the classics on BookTube. I feel like everyone's read it. It's just, you know, your typical new adult romance, and I just thought it was adorable and I loved it, and I think I gave it 5 stars. Yeah, my rating system, if you don't know, is just when I finish a book, did I enjoy it? I don't really have a hard and fast rule of how I rate things, and how I rate things probably changes on the daily. Isn't a very reliable system, but what can you do? It's just really fun, and just it got me out of a reading slump after the book that shall not be named that I previously mentioned. Beach Read by Emily Henry. I actually got an arc of this. I saw it around a lot, and I saw people really hyping it up. I saw a couple of people describe it as being quite dark, which I don't necessarily agree with. There are definitely some dark elements to it, but overall I just thought it was kind of cute, and I don't really know where that came from, but I gave it 4 stars, I believe. The reason I didn't give it a 5 star is because I think it's because I tend to read more new adult romance, because that's more my age range, whereas this one was more adult, so I couldn't really relate as much to it, but it was still really cute, and I would definitely recommend it for just a fun summery romance that will cheer you up. Book number 4 of June was City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So if you don't know, I'm part of a group of girls who have been doing monthly live streams for each installment in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. We've just finished book 2, and yeah, so this one I gave a 3.5 star, I believe. I gave City of Bones a 3 star. This was a little bit better. Not my favourite book of all time, not my favourite characters of all time. I don't know, if you want to hear more of our thoughts, I'll link the last 2 live streams down below. The majority of us are not really feeling it so far, but we all have very high hopes that it will pick up, and we will be a part of the hype, I feel, at some point, but right now, she ain't doing it for me. Number 5 was a graphic novel, my first graphic novel ever, and that was Heartstopper Volume 1. I absolutely adored this. I read it really fast because obviously it's fairly short, and it's just happy, good vibes, easy to read, good to cheer you up, and I need Volume 2 and 3 ASAP. It was a 5 star, in case you couldn't tell, easy. Book number 6 was Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. This is a fantasy book, and I read it for a video that will be coming to you at some point. I don't know when, depends on other circumstances, but this was part of that video. I'm not really going to talk about it too much because it's going to be in that video, but overall, thumbs up from me. Up next we have a new favourite in my ever-growing repertoire of romance, and that would be Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. I got an arc of this book. I was very excited about it. I haven't read Get a Life, Chloe Brown yet, but I saw the synopsis for this one, and I saw fake dating and a kind of friends with benefits situation and a strong, badass, bisexual, black female protagonist and the softest male protagonist I think I've ever read. It was just great. It was wonderful. It was everything I wanted it to be, and easy 5 stars. Shocker to absolutely nobody. I adored this book, and I need to read Get a Life, Chloe Brown as soon as possible, because if Take a Hint, Dani Brown is anything to go by, then I'm sold. Number 8 is A Court of Frost and Starlight, aka the 4th installment in, would I say installment? The book 3.5, I guess, of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I think in every video I've posted so far I have mentioned how much I love this series, but I'll say it again, I love this series. I read them all back to back in March and fell in love, and I'm obsessed still. It is just, it holds a very special place in my heart now, and I hadn't yet read the novella. So I thought I'd give it a go. You know, it's fairly short, just over 200 pages, and here's the thing. Was it necessary? No. Did I still love it? Yes. I just live for the fluff, and it was Christmassy. I just live for Reese and Feyre, and this one was all filler, but I still loved it, and I still give it 4 stars. And actually it definitely made me more excited for the new book, because I wasn't entirely sure, but now I'm kind of sold. So the next 2 I didn't read back to back, but I read Glass Sword and King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. These are the 2nd and 3rd books in the Red Queen series, and I liked them. Glass Sword, I think I gave a 3.5 star. It wasn't my favourite. It was very, I described it as Mockingjay meets the X-Men. Neither of which are entirely my cup of tea, but it was good. It was just a little bit slow paced at times and a bit more military based on what I'm used to, but still enjoyable. And King's Cage I definitely preferred. I give this a 4 star. I preferred this one because it was less of that military setting. Still definitely there, but less so, and I'm here for the romance more than anything, because, so without spoilers, there are 2 potential love interests in this series, and I'm planning on reading Warstorm in July, and let's just say the fate of my feelings on this series rests entirely on who she ends up with. Because I have a very clear-cut choice in my brain of who I want her to end up with, and if it's the wrong one, then I'm not going to be happy. Book number 10 was also for a video coming, maybe my next video, I don't know, we'll see, was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. This was my first Alice Oseman novel, and like I said, it's coming in a video pretty soon, so I'm not really going to say much, but loved it. Another romance that I decided to read this month was actually a buddy read with 2 of my friends, Taylor and Tati. We decided it would be fun to read A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone, because why not? If you don't know the concept, it's wild, and we decided it would just be fun to just give it a go and read it, and we all ended up really enjoying it. Like, very questionable tastes, but we all ended up really loving it. I gave A Lesson in Thorns 4 stars. I think we all did. And then I also have read the second book, which was going to be another 4-star, but the ending made me angry. So I ended up docking it a point, so I gave it a 3-star, and I'm still waiting on the other 2 to finish, so hurry up ladies, please, I need to vent. This month I also continued to read the Selection series, and I finished the original trilogy with The One by Kira Cass. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really nice way to wrap up the original trilogy. I thought we could have done it with a little bit more at the end. Everything kind of happened very quickly at the end, but I still really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a really nice conclusion. So the first book I gave 4 stars, the second book I gave 3 stars, and this one I gave 4 stars again. The middle one was just kind of, nothing really happened, but this one I thought everything wrapped up nicely. The action at the end was really, it was a lot happened at the end, and I got really emotional at the end, which I did not anticipate, but hey ho. And the last book I read this month was Secrets of a Serial Killer by Rosie Walker. I got this as an ARC on NetGalley. I think it comes out this month. I didn't love it. I'm a fairly big thriller reader, but over the last couple of months I've been in kind of a slump because the last couple of thrillers I've read have not hit for me, and this was no exception. I ended up giving it a 2-star. It was just like every serial killer trope you could possibly think of on a bingo card. You'd have bingo in like 5 minutes. It was not good. But the worst part was I was so invested for the first like 50%, and then it just went like ooh, this is good, and completely nosedived. I don't know. They tried to do a whole like ambiguous ending, and it didn't work. It just felt incomplete in a bad way. Not for me. I would not recommend. I wrote a big review on Goodreads where I ranted about a lot of things, but you know, maybe it's just not for me. So that's all the books that I read this month. I don't really make TBRs. I'm a big mood reader, but I just started The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I'm really excited about, and that's also going to be in a video very soon. But I also, just a quick kind of checklist of things I'm hoping to get done this month are obviously 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, 6 of Crows, Warstorm, just to complete the Red Queen and hopefully not be disappointed, City of Glass, and I don't know, I'll go wherever the wind takes me. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next